Hi everyone, my name is Michelle and today I'm here in my garden and I'd like to share with you one of my favourite practices of all time, which is a relaxing restorative practice. And it's Sunday today and I always like to practice relaxing practices on a Sunday. And so there's just a few things that you will need to do this. One is to have some sort of cushion because we're going to use some height to rest our body against. So I have a yoga bolster. If you have one of these, great. But if you don't, that's okay. You can use some cushions. So firmer is better if you have them. A few pillows would work. I also have a couple of blankets and they can kind of be folded and stack on top of one another in lieu of one of these bolsters. And you can also use them to put them over a pillow or cushions. So we can get creative. We don't have to have the right equipment. We just want to be able to create some support for our body. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is I'm going to put a link for a lovely Spotify playlist, which has some really beautiful, relaxing music that I like to listen to when I do this practice. And so you can put that on and have it playing in the background as well as listening to my voice. So if you want to just pause the video and go and prepare yourself, and then we will get straight into it. Okay, so we're going to start now. Welcome back if you stopped the video. And the first thing we're going to do is just come and lie down on our back. So it's really nice to bring your cushions, your support under your knees, and come and lie down on your back. Maybe you're outside too on this beautiful day that we have here today in Ireland. Bring the bolster or the cushions under your knees and just come and lie down. And bring your arms out alongside your body. And just take a moment to welcome yourself here onto your mat, onto your back. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths and inhale through the nose. And we're going to exhale out the mouth. And as we do so, we're going to exhale out and let go of everything that has happened so far today. We're going to take a deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. We're going to take a deep breath in now through the nose and exhale out any expectations that we have on our body for this practice. Deeply breathe in. And exhale, let go. Any expectations. And then one more deep breath, and this time just let go of anything it is that you want to let go of right now. Deep breath in. And then sigh it out. Just staying here for a few minutes. Start to feel that your body is getting a little heavy. Start to feel that your bones, your frame, starting to release down into the floor. There's no intention for this practice except to just allow our body to return to a state of rest and relaxation. To allow our nervous system to come into its parasympathetic form where our body is and our mind are completely at harmony and peace. It's a state where everything starts to slow down. It's returning to our natural state. So staying here for a few more minutes. You might turn your palms up towards the ceiling or the sky. And we're going to externally rotate those arms. So it's not just our hands turned at the wrist or arm turned at the elbow. It's all the way up from the shoulder so that your chest can open. Open your mouth a little and wiggle your jaw from side to side. Let go of any tension or tightness in your jaw. And then bring your hands onto your belly and let your belly be round and soft. No tightness here. And we're going to start to breathe into that hand and start to bring all our focus onto our breath. And it's our breath that's going to guide us through this practice together today. So as you inhale through your nose, feel that your belly begins to rise. And at the top of the breath, just hold it for a couple of moments. You're going to stay there. I'm going to sit up, but you'll just stay there. And then as you exhale, let your belly start to melt towards your spine. Exhale, 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 exhale. And then when you're ready, once again, inhale, feel your belly begin to rise. And just hold the breath for a couple of beats. And then exhale, exhale, exhale. And see if you can let your exhale be a little longer than your inhale. So when you think you cannot exhale anymore, try to. And then begin it again. Inhale nice and deeply. No force. Hold just for a moment again. No hard edges, just holding for a comfortable length of time. And then letting it go. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling. When you think you cannot exhale any further, try to. And then pause at the bottom just for a moment in that emptiness, and then begin again. And I'm going to guide us through, so continue to breathe that breath just like the last one. And in our next one, I'm going to guide us through a lovely breathing practice. We're going to inhale for a count of 4. We're going to hold it for 4, exhale it for 8, pause for 3. So it's really important that you don't feel claustrophobic in this breath, that you let it flow naturally. And if at any point you want to take an extra breath or let go of the retention, make sure you do. This practice today is all about yielding, letting go, releasing, staying away from any harsh edges and sharp edges and finding softness everywhere, including in the breath. So let's begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. 2, 3. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. 2, 3, inhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. 2, 3, 2 more. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. 2, 3, once more. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. 2, 3, and let it go. And just allow your breath to return to normal for a moment. But we're going to do a breathing practice throughout the whole sequence that's similar to that. Our inhale will be drawing inwards, focusing on inhaling and filling up, especially in the part of the body that we'll feel the stretch that we're going to come into. And when we hold, we'll really feel where there might be tension in our body. During that retention, as we're holding, you might notice where it is. And then as you exhale, and a long exhale, feel that tension releasing from that part of your body. And in that stillness, the bottom of the breath, feel the relaxedness that comes from doing this practice this way. So we'll come into our first pose, and it's a nice crescent moon shape or a banana pose. So you don't need any of your cushions or supports for this one. So staying on your back, we're going to start by bending the knees. Bring the soles of your feet onto the floor. And when you're ready, you're going to lift your hips and then bring them over to the right a little. So just a few inches. Lay your bum down. And then we're going to send our legs down the mat so that they're long and bring our legs over to the left. So our bum is to the right of the side of the mat and our legs and our feet are edging their way over to the left. And then we're going to bring our arms up over our head. And there's loads of choices here for your shoulders. Some people like to lengthen their arms back, interlacing their hands, making a steeple with the index fingers. You might want to fold and hold on to opposite elbows or just open your arms out wide. Find a comfortable position. But we're going to bring our upper body and our arms over to the left. So we have this banana shape or this crescent moon shape. So now that we're in the shape, I'm going to start the timer. We're going to focus on our breathing. So it doesn't matter which position your arms are in. Both of your your sitting bones, both of your buttocks are down on the floor. And as you inhale, breathe into that right side of your body. Inhale. Hold it for a moment. And you might even move slightly just to feel where you can notice, where you feel the stretch. And then when you're ready, exhale. You can do this out your mouth or out your nose. Pausing at the bottom for a moment. And again, continuing deeply in. Hold for a moment. Notice. Exhale when you're ready. Release, release, release. Let that whole right side of your body let go. Pause in the silence and stillness at the bottom of the breath. Begin again. Each new breath is a meditation. Each new breath is an opportunity to explore our body. Breathe into the right side all the way up from your hip to your ribs. If you want to go a little deeper, you can take your right ankle and cross it over your left. But it's good to ask your body here, is that better? Sometimes it's better. Sometimes it was better before. Stay with your breath focus. This pose isn't about bringing our body into, or this whole practice into a deeper expression. It's about finding enough of a stretch and then breathing into it and observing the change that comes by focusing on our breath. Long, deep, slow inhale, observing your breath filling and drawing energy in. Holding it, noticing, feeling, and the exhale, releasing, letting it go. Go all the way to the bottom of that breath. Pause for a moment in the stillness. And then very slowly, come back to center. So we're going to do this nice and gently. When we're in poses for a long time, we always come back to the center slowly. So start to bring your arms back alongside your body and bring your hips back to the midline and just slide your legs long, turn your palms up. And in the stillness now of this rest pose, notice the difference on the right side of your body. That's all. Just observe the difference from the right to the left, just for a moment. And we'll change to the other side. So I'll guide you through. Bend your knees. Lift your hips up again just a little bit. And this time shift your hips and your bum over to the left and lay it down. Slide the legs long and then bring them over to the right side. So this banana shape, this curved shape or crescent moon, bring your arms up somewhere up alongside or behind you. And bring your upper body, head and shoulders to the right. So your hips are to the left, feet and shoulders and hands to the right. Feeling this lovely stretch now, all down your left side. And now that you've found the shape, we're going to stay there without moving. The work is no longer in the physical body, but in our breath and our exploration of the breath. Deeply in. Hold for a moment. There's a lot we can learn about our body when we're holding and feeling in that retention. And then as you exhale, all that you could feel in that retention, allow it to melt with your exhale. Pause at the bottom. Begin again. Holding. Releasing. Stay with this now. Each breath will bring you deeper into this experience. Each breath will help you to open up all of the fascia, the tissue, the muscles along that left-hand side of your body. And what we're also doing here is we're stretching our spine laterally. We're working with the spine, bending it from one side to the other. So as you deeply breathe now and inhale, can you feel your spine opening? Can you even visualize the vertebra on the left side of your body now, opening up? Or on the right side. I got the sides wrong. Breathe into this pose now. It is your left side. Explore with your breath. You might notice that having been in it for a little while now, it starts to feel a little different. The quality of the stretch is different than it was when you first made the shape. Relax your jaw, relax your belly. Taking one more deep, long, slow breath. Hold for a moment, going at your own rhythm with your retentions. And then when you let it go, just pause for a moment at the bottom of that breath. And then slowly, slowly bring yourself back to center. Bring your hips back to the midline. Bring your arms back alongside your body. Lengthen out your legs. And just notice now if both sides of your body feel a bit more in balance with each other. And as you breathe now, just for a moment as we rest here between poses, can you notice if your breath can move to the sides of your body a little easier? Can you feel your breath moving into your side ribs? Maybe you feel more open here, and notice how that affects your breath. We're going to move into our next pose, so we're going to come into a spinal twist. It's a simple spinal twist, and there are lots of variations, and you may take one, but I like to use my bolster. You can use your cushion for your legs. Excuse me, Maher, a little assistant here with my dog. So coming onto your back, same thing, stay there. Well, you're already on your back, aren't you? I forgot. Knees bent. What we're going to do is lift our hips once again, bring them over to the right side. So your cushion's going to be on the left if you are going to use your cushion. We're going to lift our legs up, so our hips stay down now. We're going to lift our legs up towards the sky or the ceiling. Bring your arms out perpendicular and engage them for just a moment so that the right shoulder's on the floor. Bend your knees 90 degrees. And when you're ready, we're simply going to bring our knees, our shins, our feet and our ankles towards the cushion. Some of you might want to bring your legs all the way to the floor. I like to use the cushion so that I'm extra relaxed in this pose. You want to have your knees and your feet supported as much as possible. Your left hand can rest along your thighs and extending out through your right hand. If you wish to turn your head to gaze towards your right hand, lift it first. Turn your head on its own axis and lay it down. But I don't recommend doing that if you feel anything at all in your neck. So it depends on what's happening for you up here around neck and shoulders. But for many of us, we can have tightness in this part of our body. So you can look straight up to the center and still get a wonderful twist in your spine. And the focus for our breath is inhaling from the tailbone right up to the crown of our head, tracking the twist in your spine. So inhale deeply all the way up, expanding in every direction. Hold for a moment and notice, where do you feel this? Where in your spine, in your shoulders can you sense this? And wherever that is, as you exhale, allow that intensity to melt and relax with your exhale. Pause at the bottom of the breath for a moment. And again, deeply in, track the twist all the way from your tailbone, all the way up your spine. Expanding, holding, feeling, observing, noticing. And when you feel ready, exhale. Long exhale. Willing all of that structure of your body and this twist to let go. Pausing at the bottom. Beginning again. Stay there. Inhale. Expanding, tracking the twist up your spine. Hold, observe, notice. When you're ready, exhale, release, letting go of all tension and tightness in your whole spine. Pause at the bottom. Feel the softness. Beginning again. Inhale, expanding, opening. Hold, observe, notice. Exhale, release, relax, let go. Pause, feel. Each breath that we focus on, just like that, brings us into a deeper experience of this twist. So stay with it for just a few more seconds. It's not by pushing ourselves further in the practice that we get to open, but by using our breath and our nervous system to let go in these poses. The body feels safe. It can be in this shape, completely relaxed. We're going to come out. Slowly, slowly bring yourself back. Bring your hips back to the midline. Bring your arms alongside your body. And just slide your legs long and just pause for a moment. Can you feel the places in your spine now that have been twisted? Can you feel the places in your spine that have yet to be twisted? Parts of our spine were opened while other parts were contracted. Can you feel that now in the bones of your spine? Would you notice it in your body if you stood away from the mat, walked away without having completed the other side? Let's do the other side. Bend your knees if they're not bent already. Lift your bum up. Bring it to the left side of your mat just for a moment. Lift your legs up towards the ceiling or the sky. Bring your arms out perpendicular. Palms face up. Left shoulders down on the floor. Bend your knees and bring your knees, your feet, your ankles. You will have had to have brought your cushion to the other side if you haven't done it yet. See if you can get your knees and your ankles and feet on your cushion so that you feel completely supported. If you want to lift your head or turn your head, lift it, turn it on its own axis. But even if you just feel your neck, as in, hello neck, I feel you there, I would recommend coming back to center so that you don't feel anything in your neck. When you've settled in this pose, it's time for us now to come into the important work here, which is the breathing. Inhale, track your breath from your tailbone all the way up your spine. Expand as deeply as you can and hold for that moment. Just hold and feel. Really sense into your body. Where do you feel that? Where can you feel it? And then wherever it was you felt it, let it go with your exhale. Let your exhale be as long as it can without force, and feel all those places melting and releasing. And just for a pause, just for a count of 1, 2, or 3, just allow there to be a rest at the bottom of that breath before you take the next one. You'll be breathing to your own rhythm, to the volume of your own lungs. Stay away from any sharp edges with it, any force. Just allow it to be natural. But know that each deep breath is telling your nervous system, I'm safe here in this pose. When we breathe deeply, especially with long exhales, we activate, stimulate the vagus nerve, which is responsible, among other things, for controlling our nervous system. It comes down from the back of our brain and goes all the way down our spine into our organs and all the way out through our body. And when we exhale nice and slowly with a long count, our nervous system gets relaxed. We come into that rest, digest state. Stay with this now. 1 more minute. Inhale. Track the breath from your tailbone all the way up to the crown of your head. Expanding and opening. Feel, notice, observe when you hold. And as you exhale, feel everything releasing and letting go. Feel your whole body yield, get heavier. Pause at the bottom. Just a few more deep breaths now. One more deep breath. Holding, noticing, and then let it go. And then slowly come back to center now. Untwist, lengthen your legs down your mat. You can keep them bent if that's more comfortable. Turn your palms up, close your eyes, and just notice now. Notice now how your breath is flowing in your body now that we've twisted. We've opened our body in this way, compressing the cavities around our organs. And so as you breathe now, can you notice how your breath is moving in your body, in your torso? Is it becoming a little easier for your breath now in your body? We're going to come into our next pose, which is star, or any variation. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our cushion, or cushions if you have a few, to give yourself some height. Bit of grass on mine here. So you're going to be on your back. It's a nice easy class, isn't it? Most of the poses are done from this position. So what we're going to do is bend the knees, lift the hips, as a theme here, and then roll your bolster under your bum, or roll your cushions or bring them under so that our hips are elevated. Now specifically we're bringing it under our sacrum, so that's the flat bone above our tailbone, and you'll know that you're in the right place because it feels good. Flat bone on a flat surface. And so I realized about the story of Goldilocks is that sometimes we have to try things because we all like different things, and she had to try the porridge and she had to try the chairs to find what worked for her, and it was different to what worked for the bears. So, move it a bit, move it back a bit, move it forward a bit, just see what works for you, and then you'll know what the right place is. And turn your palms up, and this is option 1, stay here. And this is lovely, we can stay here for the whole 3 minutes, but if you want to start to straighten your legs, as you do, ask your back, honestly, are you happy here? Slide it forward a bit more, and your body will not lie. Your ego might tell you that it wants your legs to be straight, but if you ask your back, it will know whether this is better or whether legs bent was better. And whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We won't be attached to it. It will be different tomorrow. It might be different. It might have been different yesterday if you did it. But the goal isn't to straighten the legs. The goal is to be comfortable. And you can keep your arms there if you like. Or if you want to, reach your arms up and back, coming into this star shape. So anything between knees bent and arms alongside your body, legs straight and arms back, is perfect for today. And the focus for our breath now for the 3 minutes here is to inhale all the way from our pubic bone, all the way up the front of our spine, all the way to our heart center. So when you're ready, breathing deeply in. Hold and feel the expansion and the stretch across the front of your spine. Let it go. Allow the whole front of your spine to release. Pause at the bottom. When you're ready, begin again. Inhale, visualize the front of your spine and visualize the vertebrae in the front of your spine opening. Think about the front of your spine now as it's opening up. And as you hold, feel that expansion and that openness. And as you let it go, stay in the openness, but feel the openness soften. Feel the openness release, so that being open isn't a force and isn't a strain. Pause at the bottom. Stay with this now. Beautiful, beautiful pose for opening up the front of our spine. Long, deep, slow breath in, expanding and opening. Hold and be fully aware of this opening in the front of your spine. And as you exhale, allow everything to be soft, to melt, to completely let go. And pause at the bottom of that. Observe. Stay with it now. Go deep into your own rhythm of breathing. And if the mind gets distracted, which it does and which it will, without judgment, gently come back. Gently come back to the slow, rhythmical breathing, the 4 parts. Inhaling, opening, expanding, holding, noticing. Exhale, releasing, letting go. Stillness, pausing. Last couple of deep breaths now. Let your whole body yield on the exhale. Shoulders and jaw soft. Last deep breath. And to come out, stay there for a moment, I'll join you. To come out, what we're going to do is to lift our hips and just roll your cushions, or push your cushions if you don't have a bolster, forward, and then bring your bum down onto the floor and just rest your knees on the cushions or on the bolster. And take your rest here, and then you'll be in the perfect position for our next pose. Now that you've come out, just notice what it feels like in the front of your spine. And as you breathe, can you notice how your breath is moving in your body? We've opened the sides of our spine. We've twisted left and twisted right. We've opened the front of our spine. And so as you lie here for just a few moments in this rest position, notice how your breath moves in your body. How stretching our spine can affect everything from how we feel to how we breathe. And now it's time to stretch the back of our spine. In fact, this next pose will be stretching the whole back of our body. So just gently press yourself up to sitting, stay where you are. And if you have your cushions or your bolster under your knees, then you're ready to go for the next pose. You might pull the flesh of your sitting bones open, just lengthening up through the crown of your head, nice and tall, and simply fold forward from the hips. And fold any amount. Some of you will find that you come all the way forward, and you may even find that your head comes down onto your bolster or your legs. And some of you might find that just folding forward just a centimetre brings an intensity into the stretch. It doesn't matter where you are. That's the thing about our edge. It is exactly the same, except it looks different in everyone, but it's the same thing. I like to turn my palms up for this in a gesture of opening. Also, some of us might have a habit from yoga to feel like we're reaching for our feet, and it's not that type of pose. Once you've folded to your edge, a place where you get enough of a sensation, but you can still relax, we're not trying to go any deeper. Let your feet go so that you're not clenching or engaging. And you can even allow your head to round down and your neck to roll, as long as you're careful and you don't get any strain in your neck. The focus here isn't just in our spine, it's all the way from the back of the heels. As we inhale, feel all the way up from the calves to the hamstrings, your glutes to your lower back, middle back, upper back, shoulders and neck. So as you inhale, feel that entire back chain of your body expanding. Hold and notice. And then as you exhale, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Pause at the bottom for a moment. Begin again. Inhale all the way up from the heels, whole back chain of your body, expanding it outwards. Hold for a moment and feel what it feels like in that sense of expansion. And then as you exhale, wherever you felt it the most, lower back, shoulders, legs, release, let it go completely. Seek out the bottom of your breath. Keep going, keep exhaling, pausing in stillness for a moment. Stay with it. Beautiful, everyone. Well done for taking this time. We're expanding the back of our body here, working deeply into our back, into the backs of our legs. So stay with this practice now. You might find with your exhales that you melt a little deeper into the pose. And that's okay, as long as your intention is not to try to come forward more. So for this reason, I like to practice this whole practice with my eyes closed, letting go of form and shape. It's an experiential practice. What do we feel? What can we sense? Not what it looks like or what shape we're making. Stay with this now, going even deeper with your breaths, noticing that the deeper you breathe, that the more you focus on your breaths, the deeper the experience of the pose will be. One more deep breath, all the way in. Hold for a moment, really feel it now. Feel it all. And then exhale, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Pause. And then very slowly we're going to find our way out, nice and slowly. There's definitely no rush. Just come back up from wherever you folded to, and then roll back onto your back once again. Turn your palms up towards the sky or the ceiling and just rest for a moment. And just observe your breath once again. We've opened the front of our spine, the back of our spine, the sides of our spine. We've twisted. And so as you breathe, can you notice if your breath is flowing a little freer now in your spine and your torso? We're going to do one more pose for this practice today. And it can be a little bit tricky to come into it. And I'll do my best to give you a few options, but it's really up to you to make sure it feels comfortable and it feels safe. And only you will know. One option is to take your cushions lengthways. And it can be really nice to prop it up a little bit at the back so that it's actually slightly inverted, like so. This is one option. And then what we're going to do is have another blanket nearby because we do want to be safe in our lower back, and I'll show you. So we're not going to bring our bum all the way back to the cushion, because if we do that, that's quite an intense back bend. It actually is quite a lot. You might see that on the camera. We're going to bring the bum forward a little bit. And then what we're going to do now is lift our bum up, lengthen our tailbone forward, and then lay back on this lovely cushion support. Now, lots of options from here to help to make us really comfortable, but the most important thing is what's happening here in your shoulders. So if my palms are down, you'll notice that my shoulder is in line with my collarbone, so I'm not getting an opening here in my chest. But as soon as I turn my palms up, this releases. And the intention for this pose is to open our heart, so we want that to happen. Now, you might either slide the legs long, or bring the soles of your feet together, let the knees come out and give your hips a little stretch. But many of us will feel this in our lower back. And so another blanket folded once or twice, depending on your own needs, propped under your bum, will really help your lower back. So you're going to take a few moments to just make sure that you come into this in as comfortable a way as possible. You might find that you want to bring a blanket under your head if it feels like your head is arched back. There's no one way to practice this pose, so even a jumper or a cardigan or something under your head can be really nice. But the most important thing is to have your palms face up so your chest is open. Something under your bum if you're feeling your lower back, and it doesn't even have to feel like pain necessarily, just sensation in your lower back we want to avoid, because the focus of this pose is the heart, not the lower back. So it definitely takes a few moments to get into this pose, to build up a little frame, and that's okay. You'll get used to it. This is actually one of my favorite poses in the whole world, and anyone who's practiced with me will know this. It's been in my top 3 for about 10 years. Definitely right now is number 1. And the focus now for this pose, if you're here already, if you've joined us in it, is the heart. Your hips might not like being in this position for long, so remember at any time, just bring the knees slowly to center and slide them long. The primary focus is the heart and the chest, and the secondary focus is the hips. And with your eyes closed and your shoulders drawn back, feel the strength and courage that there is in this really vulnerable position. And that is coming into the space of our heart. There is a strength in the courage and a strength in the vulnerability. And during these strange times of lockdown, I know many of us are really feeling that vulnerability. And so our focus now is to feel your heart center opening with every breath. As you inhale, feel that it opens and expands. Hold for a moment, both to allow the light to shine in and to let the light shine out. And as you exhale, allow yourself to release in the opening. Stay with it, inhaling. Holding. Feel this expression of openness. Exhale. Maybe bring the hint of a smile on your lips. Hold. Stay here and stay with your breath. Opening our heart, literally opening and stretching the whole front of our chest, our collarbones, clavicle, all of this, sternum. It can feel really scary. It can feel really emotional, and that's okay. Tears are always welcome in the yoga mat. You've created a safe space for yourself in allowing yourself the time for this practice. And as you breathe into your heart, you may feel energy moving. So breathe into it. Each breath, visualize your heart. You might bring the heart chakra to mind, multi-petaled lotus opening continually. Opening, opening, opening. There is no end to how open our heart can be. There is no boundary to our love, to the love that we give and to the love that we can receive. So breathe, breathe, breathe. We're going to come out of this pose now. And we're going to do it really slowly because we've been here a while. And we'll start by guiding our knees back together. If they were still out into the hip opening part, just bring your hands to guide your knees together. And then roll to the side, off of your structure, off your cushions, and curl into a little ball. I know this sounds really corny, but give yourself an actual hug. Especially at the moment, this is something that, unless we are living with other people, that we are deprived of. So give yourself a nice big tight hug. Draw your knees into your chest. The counter pose of that very big opening, that vulnerable position, is to curl inwards now. Well done. And finally, to close this practice, we're going to roll onto our backs into the position that we started in the very beginning. And you can bring your bolster, your cushions under your knees. You can bring a blanket across your body. But try not to move too much so that you can keep some of this lovely energy and this lovely softness. Keep it with you as we come into the final stages of this practice. And we're going to let go now of the breathing, the long, deep inhales, the holding, the exhales. And just allow your breath to flow smoothly. Allow your jaw to be soft. Allow your belly to be soft. And can you take a moment as you lie there to feel a deep sense of gratitude for yourself, for taking this time today. It's not easy to slow down even in this strange time of lockdown for so many of us. Can you feel the softness over your whole body now? Can you feel the opening? Can you feel the peace? And know that you did all this for yourself today. And if you're feeling calm and peaceful, know that this is something that exists in you. It always is. It's not a class or a teacher, a place or a circumstance. It's something in you that you have the power to access at any time. And so feel a sense now of gratitude to yourself. There is much stress and anxiety in the world, even before the situation that we're in now, COVID-19. And never before has it been so important that we focus on our nervous system. I'm going to finish this recording now. Please feel free to stay a little longer on your mat. And if you listen to that lovely Spotify soundtrack, it can be nice just to spend a few more minutes, listen to another piece of music or two. Thank you for joining me with this today. It is really a gift to be able to offer. It's a privilege, something that I am so passionate about. So thank you for joining me. Namaste.